Hey guys, it's Chris, and I am here because I was getting ready to do something else. Amber did not upload last night. Surprise, surprise. So I was going to react to a compilation video of a particular kind that I wanted to do. Because I've only been in the Amberverse for less than 2 years, really, around 2 years actually. So there's a lot I missed, and I'd like to go back and watch it. But I saw that Foodie Duty, the completely changed woman, uploaded yet another mukbang, and they make me rage. They make me angry. But you guys who know me know that with my medical background, I try to kind of give advice and tips and information as far as diet, nutrition, fitness, weight loss, and that's where I come from. And what Foodie Beauty is doing with her diet is not good. It's not safe. It's not healthy for anybody, much less a diabetic, especially a diabetic, an uncontrolled one. So I said, okay, we'll react to that. I did one yesterday, and then I realized that my camera was blocking like the big bowl of rice she was eating, and I wanted you to be able to see it, so I privated that for now. And this one I put myself in the corner. So I know the camera quality is not great. I have to save up for another one. I will. My hair's kind of pulled up. I have a treatment in it right now to try to do some it needs some conditioning. And I know it's not the best, but I'm just trying to get myself used to being back on camera. And I do have like a little bit of like allergies, cold going on, so don't mind me. I'm a fidgeter. I fidget a lot, and you can't see that whenever I'm not on camera. But I just wanted to get used to being in front of the camera more. So here I am, a little blurb in the corner. You don't have to look at me. You don't have to watch. Most of you listen anyways, and that's fine. So, Foodie is sped up for time because she talks so slow. I have a nice hot cup of tea, and we are going to see what she has to say. I don't know if I'll watch the whole thing. It depends on what she's talking about. Watching her eat, guys, honestly grosses me out. Her, Amber, I don't like mukbangs in general. I don't like eating noises and stuff like that. But I openly admit that watching really, really obese people eat, especially in the unmannerly way that like Chantal and Amber eat, it grosses me out. And a large part of it is because they're so big. It would still gross me out if it was a smaller person, but we know that these women have issues with food, and that they are gluttons, and that they are hurting themselves, and it's self-harm. And that's one of the reasons it really extra grosses me out. Like I said before, I don't want to watch I don't want to watch an alcoholic get absolutely smashed and then try to drive away to go home to sleep it off. So it's kind of in the same range. But there's my disclosure. I admit it. Plus, Foodie just has really bad manners, and she's just a gross person. And I can't believe I've started reacting to her. But you guys like it, and I have a lot of new viewers coming in, so we have to give the people what they want, right? So, all right, let's get into it. She's showing her cameo. I don't know a lot about Islam, but aren't people saying that like these holidays, Valentine's Day, all this stuff, that she is trying to make money off of? Isn't it haram? Isn't it like you're not supposed to acknowledge or celebrate those in Islam? Again, one more thing that just shows me that Foodie is not, in fact, taking being a Muslim seriously. What she does, how she acts, I feel like it's an insult to the religion and to the good people of the religion who practice it. Her sins, her garbage is on display constantly, right? The rage, the jealousy, the pride, the sloth, the gluttony. I know they don't do seven deadly sins in Islam, but she really, people like Foodie and Amber, they're living embodiments of the seven deadly sins. And I know that I'm sure that that Muslims probably don't like look too kindly on the degree of anger and wrath and gluttony and laziness that Chantal portrays. But Just my opinion.
On Cameo. Get yours now and don't delay. Make Valentine's Day a special day.
Oh my, oh Jesus Christ. Okay. Like I said in the last one, I'm going to let her talk and explain everything, and then I will talk.
Well, hello.
And guys, just FYI, I know that this is falling on deaf, dumb ears with Foodie, but if I can react and at least get information out there to help other people who don't know something or who actually want to change or care about their health, that's why I do this. Like, I mean, obviously, even no matter how horrible of people they are, I still would want people like Foodie and Amber and the lot to lose weight and get healthier. I would never not wish that for somebody. And like I said, once if these women completely change, who knows what else might change about them? Their personality, their mentality, who knows? I don't think Foodie would, but I still don't wish ill health on her. What she has coming down the pipeline with the diabetes is long and not pretty and miserable. And people try to tell her, but she doesn't listen. So,
Hello, guys.
YOLO, right?
Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to another video. So today I am eating for, it's like
You're eating for three, eating for 2 or 3. I thought that's what she was going to say, but she didn't say that.
lunchtime. So I'm having
This is a lunch. Jesus.
kosheri, and I thought I would share with you. I'm having Egyptian food, not just kosheri, but I'm having kosheri as the main. And
Just because it's kosher doesn't mean it's healthy, Chantel, and doesn't mean you have to eat the entire freaking shop.
then I have a sausage sandwich of
It's a
sorts.
sausage roll, sausage sandwich. Because there's not enough sausage in this frickin' video with your frickin' stubby little sausage fingers, right, Chantel? I'm sorry. I'm like not in a great mood the past couple days, and she really gets me. So, oh, I'm fat shaming. You're such a mean fat shamer, Chris. Okay, I am. Whatever.
And I have some mahalabia, like a pudding, milky pudding. They usually put like
A pudding. So I'm assuming if that is like a dessert and it's from a restaurant, it's going to have a lot of sugar in it. If this was the United States, it wouldn't even be sugar. It would be even worse. It would probably be a lot of like high fructose corn syrup added in there. Although if they made it at the shop, it could be sugar, but that is not diabetic friendly. That sausage roll, not diabetic friendly. This meal is full of a ton of added sodium. And guys, salt is not bad for you. You need salt. Salt is not like the main culprit in high blood pressure and stuff. It's a myriad of things, but you need salt. But there's just too much of it in these meals. Too much like preservatives, MSG, added sugars. Like I don't know if I guarantee the added sugar in like breads and stuff like that isn't as bad in Kuwait as it is in America, which is where I'm from. But it's still not good. This is still probably mass produced stuff that they're getting in bulk and making. They're probably not making the bread fresh, the noodles fresh, all this. A lot of it is probably bought in. They use bad oils, like the cheap ones that are trans fats, like soybean, corn, canola, etc., because it's cheaper, keeps the company's price point down, and it still has the effect of an oil or a fat, and it's just not good for you. This is just so calorie, and then the portions are too big, and I noticed that the portions are smaller in Kuwait than in America, because America we're the glutton nation. But I really believe that some of these meals she eats that are like really big, they're not meant for just one person. Chantel's eating it by herself, but I do believe they're probably for 2 to 4 people. So like this big serving of whatever's in front of her, this was probably either meant to be eaten by itself or to be split into 2 meals or shared with 2 people. Between the sandwich and the noodles or whatever the hell that is, the pudding, this.
pistachios and stuff, and they didn't. Okay.
And she consumes hundreds and hundreds of calories every meal extra just in sauces. I'm guilty of that. I'm a dipper, I'm a saucer. I go overboard with sauces and dressings and stuff. You really have to watch because, again, that's a lot of added sugar, a lot of added salt, preservatives, and a ton of added calories. You'd be shocked at what an actual serving of like a condiment, like a ranch dressing or a ketchup is. And it's astounding.
Okay, so Bismillah. Let's open this. So those of you who don't know, koshery is like a carb.
Oh, so a big giant bowl of more white refined processed carbohydrates for our uncontrolled, non-compliant diabetic. This is what makes me rage, guys. Because if you're a diabetic, you shouldn't be eating this. You really shouldn't be eating carbs at all. Yes, I said it. And people get mad because they want to eat their freaking carbs. Maybe a small amount once a day or a couple times a week. But this bitch should be eating meats, because I don't care what her doctor said. Her doctor's a vegetarian, so he's biased. Meat is not bad for diabetics. That's what the primary food of a diabetic should be. Meats, healthy fats, some dairy if tolerated, lots of vegetables, particularly non-starchy ones. Avoid the potatoes and stuff. Maybe once, a couple times a week, a sweet potato or a squash or something like that. But fermented things, kimchi, sauerkrauts, pickled vegetables, berries for your fruit, no sugar added yogurts, maybe a little bit of melon here and there, or a pear or an apple. But you got to watch, because those fruits tend to be higher in sugar. Stick to berries because they're higher fiber, lower sugar, really good calorie wise. And that's it. Maybe if you can control yourself, a small measured portion for a diabetic, about a half a cup or a half a serve, like whatever a normal serving of a carb is, a diabetic should do no more than that, or cut that serving in half. So maybe a small portion of rice or quinoa, or a slice of an Ezekiel bread or something like that with a meal. Not this freaking tub of pasta. You shouldn't eat pastas except for maybe special occasions if you're a diabetic. Pastas, cereals, grains, as far as like, cereals, and most breads, pastries, takeouts, all the sweets, oatmeal, even oats, and any kind of pasta. It should, and white potatoes, and sweet potatoes should even be moderated, but you should avoid the white potatoes and all that other stuff almost completely if you're a diabetic. But Chantel's just trying to speed run what remaining time she has, where she has both of her feet or something like that.
Carb hater's nightmare.
So same with, it looks like it has beans in it. If you're diabetic, same. Beans, lentils. You can have some nuts and seeds, again, in a measured portion. They're good for you, but they're very calorie dense, very high fat. Good fat, but you still got to watch. But lentils and beans too, and legumes, you need to really limit and keep those just to a couple times a week, because they are a straight carb. And I know people don't like hearing this, because they say, oh, it's not the same. The sugar spike in your blood from a lentil, from a whole grain bread, from a piece of cake, it all has the same effect on your body. I know some carbs come with more nutrition than others. Some spike your blood sugar slower. Some have a more prolonged period of time in which they raise it. But it is all still broken down into the same sugar into your body. It still causes the exact same blood sugar spike, which causes the insulin spike. Your insulin has to stay up for many hours to bring that back down, because you only need about 1 to 2 teaspoons, I think, of glucose in your blood at any given time. Your body can't have more than that, or you start to run into problems like Chantel is having. And when your insulin is elevated, insulin is called the fat storing hormone for a reason. It basically, in your body, it tells things to grow, to and an example of that is fat cells, to grow, to store things. It has a myriad of functions, but that is one of the things that the insulin does. And when your insulin is elevated like that, like her insulin will be elevated 6 to 8 hours after eating this meal. So when your insulin is really elevated, your body is busy processing that and trying to store it, your body doesn't tap into added fat stores whenever your insulin is elevated. That's why a lot of people who diet or eat a high carb diet uh, can be skinny fat, because even though they're losing weight, they're losing a lot more muscle, because they still can't completely tap into those fat stores, because even though they're lean, even though they're eating in a calorie deficit, even if they're athletic, the elevated insulin, when it's elevated, they can't tap into their fat stores. That's why a ketogenic diet, a low carb diet, a carnivore diet works so well for weight loss, and you tend to lose more fat because it keeps your insulin levels low and steady. You're not constantly spiking it and your blood sugars, so that you are able to tap into your stored fat more. That's why ketogenic is not so much a weight loss diet as it is a fat burning diet. And it is the most effective one. I'm not saying you shouldn't eat carbs. I eat carbs now too. I like to play around with my diet and try different things. But that's why a ketogenic lower carb diet is so therapeutic, because it allows you to tap into fat stores. It's very anti inflammatory. And guess what, guys? Carbs, even in the form of these whole grains, beans, whatever, they have an inflammatory response on your body. Sugar and trans fats are the most inflammatory things you can put in your body. Now that we had this nutrition lesson, let's let Chantel tell us about how healthy her pile of sugar is.
There
And yes, if you're new here, I try to give information. That's what we do.
is chickpeas, pasta. They have put brown rice, lentils, vermicelli.
Okay, so there's vermicelli, brown rice, chickpeas, and lentils, and macaroni. This is a freaking just a pile of carbs. Minimal protein from like the lentils and chickpeas. What the hell? This woman wants to have a diabetic crisis. She does. She doesn't like her feet anymore. She doesn't like feeling her toes and hands anymore. Probably doesn't care for her eyesight anymore. And definitely doesn't care about her renal and cardiovascular health, apparently. Guys, this is not good. I would not recommend this for anybody. I want to get into dietary and weight loss coaching again. Me and my son's father, when he was alive, we used to help like local people in our area, friends, family, lose weight with a lower carb approach, and it worked really well. I have studied a lot of other diets since then, and I like helping people with diets and weight loss, not just keto, but I can do keto, carnivore, low carb, but I can also do vegetarian, stuff like that, or just standard balanced type diets. But I wouldn't recommend this big pile of carbs to anybody, especially, at least not anybody attempting to who has weight to lose or has blood sugar issues. This woman's gonna freaking kill herself. I mean, this is like, everybody should. I'm not telling you to report this video, okay? I'm not doing a call of action. I'm just saying, I consider this right here, this woman, this morbidly obese, sick woman with uncontrolled blood sugars, sitting here eating tons of food, stuffing it into her face on camera for money. All these processed refined carbs and food, this is self-harm, and it would technically be considered a reportable offense by YouTube's TOS. I'm not telling you to report her. I'm just saying I will probably report it, because she is hurting herself, and she's not going to stop unless there is no monetary and attention value left in it.
You see that underneath?
Like, and you can't just have one carb. She has all the carbs in there. Vermicelli, macaroni, lentils, chickpeas, brown rice. Pick freaking one and have a small serving of one. But this goes back to Chantel, like, can't just have one thing. She has to have all the things because she's a freaking glutton.
And you put a tomato sauce on it. So let's do that now.
So it's basically just like refined processed pasta type dish. And just because you bought it from a koshery doesn't make it healthy, Chantel. They didn't make this pasta. This sauce probably has a lot of added extra oil and stuff, possibly sugar. Jesus Christ. I mean,
Yum.
And again, that like that bowl. I'm not even getting into the freaking sausage yet. But that bowl of pasta, guys, let's just say it was like, it's mainly pasta, so we'll go with that. That would actually be probably, that's like two, maybe 2.5 servings of pasta. That is definitely 2 servings. So right there, she's already going against her doctor's order. She said, oh, my doctor said I can eat carbs. No, small measured ones, the size of your palm. And that's at least double what her portion should be. And you shouldn't do the palm method because like Chantel could put that in her palm like before it was cooked, and you can take it and or rice as an example and pile it up. You're best to actually get measuring cups and measure that shit.
What?
Look at the joy on her face. She's just, yay, food, I'm gonna eat again. This is one of the reasons why this woman, Amber, this is why they won't lose weight. Because I'm not saying you shouldn't enjoy food. Enjoy it. I love food and I hate it. I have disordered eating background. Those of you who know me know that. I love it and I hate it. And a lot of times I hate that I love some of it so much. But this joy and pleasure she gets from food, she has no desire to give that up and to give up these things. At some point you have to say, yes, I love these foods, but I just can't have them all the time. My health is more important. It's more dependent on me eating these other things. Once things are better, yeah, I can have them occasionally, but I can no longer have these things all the time. I effed up my body, got myself into a situation. I made my bed and now I have to lie in it. But Chantel won't do that. She will not give up anything she wants. She will not give up eating as much as she wants. And she cannot tolerate any type of discomfort, the least bit of hunger, work, effort. It's not her thing.
Oh, overflow much. Overflow.
Yeah, Chantel,
Okay.
you have that big ass bowl and it's like almost overflowing. And you have pudding, a side dish, and a whole freaking like sausage on a big bread bun right next to you. Which, by the way, guys, look at how gross she is. She's sitting there lifting her grubby fingers up and hands to get that in there, and her sleeve is dragging all over the frickin' sausage hoagie that she's gonna eat. Jesus, she's disgusting.
So you mix in the tomato sauce very carefully. Then you add these crispy onions. Whoa.
And those crispy onions were probably, I love onions. Oh, I love an onion. They're probably really good. She put a boatload in there too. Jesus Christ. They were probably fried in some type of seed oil. I would say this whole meal, I don't know what those sauces are, but at least one of them looks kind of creamy. This whole meal, this meal is because like I said, a serving of pasta isn't that much and it's kind of calorie dense. This is probably about, and I usually lowball it. I'm going to start doing my what I eats with calorie and carb counts again, guys. They just take a little more time and work, but I am going to get there. But when I do these estimates, a lot of times I lowball it. But I bet this meal is every bit of 1,100 calories. It's at least 1,000, maybe 1,200. I could, like I said, I could be lowballing it. And I don't believe this is the only thing she's eaten in a day. If this was the only thing she's eaten, she'd be dropping weight so fast. She says she has a snack plate at night. The plate's probably this big, and she doesn't need a snack plate. She doesn't need a snack at all.
I'm gonna add a little bit at a time because
A
this is
little
really
bit.
messy. And this garlic oil stuff is so good.
And okay, so then she also has garlic oil. And that serving of garlic oil is probably about 200, 250
I'm gonna
calories.
add that on. This stuff here.
Oh, no. That's probably like, that's a lot of freaking oil. That right there, that little cup she's looking at with lust in her eyes, that is probably, no shit, like 350, 400 calories. And I could be lowballing it.
Yeah. Yellow, yellow.
She dumped it all in there too. What the? Okay, so I take it back. The meal is probably 12 to 13 or 1400 calories. Jesus.
All right. Ah! I have to do laundry.
Oh my god, look at she's such a pig. Just drops it on the floor, dribbles it all over herself.
Yellow,
She has no shame. And she's definitely doing this for feeders.
yellow. All right. Ah!
I mean, look at her dripping
Okay,
it all
laundry
over
today
herself. And
anyways,
just
so.
literally threw the cup on the floor. She's just a freaking. She's a feral animal. And I've seen feral animals have more pride and manners than she does.
And then this hot sauce. I want to see how hot it is before I just. Ooh.
The healthiest thing on that plate is the hot sauce.
Yeah, that's hot. So we'll just add a little bit.
I don't want to do this,
let's
guys. I don't
go
want to watch this.
in for some of this.
That is a pile of food. That bowl of pasta carb mix should have been the only thing she's eating. She shouldn't be eating it. But you know what I'm saying? If you're a normal person, like, this should be the only thing you're eating if you're going to have that. That should be your meal, and you should eat. That's more than a serving. Like, so. But she also has a dessert, a thing of pudding, which is probably like almost two serving and a half, 2 servings, and a freaking sandwich. Where I'm from, we call it a hoagie. You guys might call it a sub or a roll, but
Yum.
you see those eyeballs rolling in the back of her head, and that's why she's never going to change, because she doesn't want to give that up. She doesn't get that type of response from anything else, and everything she eats has to give her that. You know, do you think like chicken or shrimp and rice and some veggies and eggs and stuff like that, do you think that's, you know, a Ezekiel? I make a good Ezekiel bread avocado toast. I would roll my eyes in the back of my head for that. But do you think all that healthy stuff is going to give her that response? No. And like, that's why Foodie and Amber have such a problem. They seek that response. They don't want to eat something that doesn't give them that response. I'm going to check to make sure my camera has not frozen. It does that occasionally, so just keep watching.
The tomato sauce has like garlic seasonings. It tastes like to me. It's really yummy. Oh man, I love kosher. Yeah, I forgot how it tasted since the last time I had it.
Of course. Why is it frozen?
Let's try the sandwich. I don't know if I'm gonna like this.
Hold on, I'm just fixing this. Don't mind me, guys.
So I just want to like clarify something about the changes I'm making.
Okay, there. It freezes sometimes. I don't know why. I told you it's cheap.
I'm not so ignorant as to not be aware of the fact that my past self is very different from this one.
Chantel, your past self is not different. You are the same person. You literally couldn't go a day of your new life, new self. Yesterday, you talked about how you were this changed woman yesterday. And then yesterday evening, you were supposedly like raging and talking shit on garlic bread and somebody else after you claimed in the morning that that's not part of your virtues.
And in my past self, I didn't care what I put out online because I was very open and just like, I didn't care. Like, I was just like, I didn't think of like, someday maybe I'll feel differently about how I project myself online.
You're an attention seeker.
I know that once something's on the internet, it's pretty much forever.
And I honestly had more respect for her when she was just like, this is me, I'm unmannerly, I'm gross, I do this, I do that, and I'm just going to do it. And she was honest about it and not putting on this fake act. You know what I mean? I had more respect for her when she was at least honest about the kind of person she is. And again, look at that Ujah spoon. Look at the size of the bites. That's one of the things that amazes me. The size of the bites this woman takes is like, I mean, I wouldn't dare take her anywhere special or fancy or to an event where anybody I knew would have to watch her eat because she eats like a freaking barbarian.
But I don't. It doesn't really bug me. Like, I didn't make this change to my channel to run away or avoid.
Yeah, you are. People, there's speculation she's really trying to distance herself from the Mr. Snowflake documentary. And it's not going to work. That's why she changed the name to Everyday Miriam. But I'm sure Mr. Snowflake's caught on and people are going to start tagging Miriam and Everyday Miriam along with the Chantel Foodie Beauty Sala names and stuff like that. So I'm sure in the documentary he will put somewhere that Foodie Beauty, aka Chantel, aka Miriam, aka Everyday Miriam, and he will probably at least touch on her doing this, changing her name to try to distance herself from all the absolutely diabolical shit that's out there about her from the past. So she's basically really just trying to hide. She is so scared of what he is going to drum up in this documentary. I can't even imagine what he's going to find because I don't read her Kiwi Farms thread. Like I said, I'm very new to Chantel, but I listened enough to know that she's done some deplorable things. So if she's trying to distance herself from it, but there's just no way she can.
Like, basically escape my past online reputation.
You are, Jesus Christ. If I ate this much food, I would be sick. Like, it's just a lot, volume wise, and it's like nutritionally devoid. Um, and I had an eating disorder that was very focused on binging. Like I was full blown had the Mia for a few years, and yes, I have to make up terms because we can't talk like an adults here on like an adult here on YouTube. But I could put away a lot of food, and I don't even know that I could do this.
It's something I'll always have to live with. Luckily,
Watching her eat's like watching a train wreck. It's like you're terrified of what you're seeing, but you can't look away.
for me, the only person I'll be needing to be accountable to is God.
And see, I find this insulting. She's like, oh, the only person I need to be accountable to is God. She insults her religion, the faith. She's very judgmental and mean and rude and vulgar and just gorges and gluttons herself on camera all the time for money. This is all stuff that, according to her religion, from what I hear, is not. It's very frowned upon. She doesn't ignore the Christmas and Halloween and Valentine's Day and all this stuff. Things that they don't acknowledge, holidays they don't participate in, and she's not supposed to. Yet here she is shilling for them to try to make money, which I don't think is right. If she was truly a Muslim revert and truly respected the religion, she would say, look, I'll still do cameos and I'll do this stuff, but she wouldn't theme them or she wouldn't acknowledge and participate in these holidays that she's not supposed to be participating in. It's just insulting. It would be insulting. It's insulting to Islam because she's chosen to become Muslim. It would be insulting to Christianity if she had chose to become a Christian. It's, and so on and so on. Ugh.
And God is merciful and forgiving.
And see, there you go. There she is. Oh, I think God is merciful and forgiving. So here in Chantel's mind, I can do whatever I want. I can keep gluttoning myself. I can keep being a horrible person because God is merciful and forgiving and I'm so special. He's going to forgive everything I do. That's not necessarily the case. And that's not an excuse to be a shitty person. You should try to live your life and be a good person. And I don't know about Islam, but I know in Christianity there are things called unforgivable sins.
I'm doing it just because, for me, the Foodie Beauty.
Don't wait your
The
okay.
mister is walking by. He
have
wanted
that-
to give
I
me
had
a
a
kiss, but he
similar
doesn't. He doesn't like being on camera.
No, when. Oh, is that. Oh, stupid Furby.
is gone. And people can rush and take the handle, the Foodie Beauty handle. You're still not going to be Foodie Beauty, so what does it matter?
See, and then she's like doing all these things to try to protect her reputation, and it's useless. Chantel, your reputation is so damned. Everybody knows how you are. And I believe that people can change. Not everybody. Some people can. I think Chantel's one of those ones that just can't. Look at this, like, smug. Ugh.
Foodie Beauty is only someone I could be.
Who would want to be Foodie Beauty? In all honesty, after look at what you've done to that phrase and name. Channel Dog, everybody around
For
here
my cameos,
knows.
I'm just going to keep it Foodie Beauty.
Photo.
I could change the name, but whatever. So if you want a cameo from Foodie Beauty, you can still
This is her.
get one.
Okay, so you can still get a cameo from Foodie Beauty. You can still give money to Foodie Beauty, but she's not Foodie Beauty anymore, guys. Well, then, you know, you probably shouldn't be taking money and things like that under that name if you're so different and you're a changed person, Chantel, and you're not Foodie Beauty anymore.
I love lentils.
So did she finish that sausage roll off camera? I don't see it anymore. She was taking humongous bites of it. Frodo. All this time just sitting there, just saying nothing and chewing and eating. Ugh, I'm gonna have to start editing these.
But who I was when I started Foodie Beauty and who I am now, very different people.
Yeah, you're worse. You're a worse version of who you were when you started. I don't think that's what she meant, but we all know that's the truth.
Very different.
No, you're not. The only thing different about you is you're worse and you're bigger and you're in the Middle East. Oh my God. Channel Dog, say hi to everyone. Frodo.
And yeah. So I didn't make these changes to, you know, people. I've seen people say,
Say hi to Frodo.
changing your YouTube name doesn't change who you are. No, I changed who I am.
People on Twitch see him all the time. He always jumps in.
So I'm changing kind of my channel identity. And you can never escape your past. I'm not trying to.
I think she is. I think, and she just privated a ton of videos, and I think that's because she said it was because she didn't want to show her hair, but it's because I think she knows Mr. Snowflake's working on that documentary, and she doesn't want him to be able to use those videos to make it. But those videos, those clips are out there, either archived on sites like Kiwi Farms or in reaction videos or in compilation videos. They're out there. She's not going to be able to completely erase them, but I think she's trying to make it harder and hoping that maybe he won't go through with the documentary or he won't find some of this stuff. He will.
At all. You know, I'm not trying to rewrite history.
God. I was going to eat after this, but watching her eat seriously turns my stomach. I am going to eat, though. I think I'm going to have bagels and lox, you know, like with the cream cheese and the smoked salmon. I'm going to be starting my Lent diet and, like, thing in 4 days at the start of Lent. So I think maybe I'll do a video explaining to you guys what I'm going to be doing. And there were some of you that said, hey, yeah, I'll do a Lent challenge with you. So that's good. After everything that happened with my aunt, I just kind of got off the rails where I lost track of what days my weigh-ins were and stuff. So I said, okay, I wanted to tighten it up for Lent and sacrifice something for Lent. So I said, okay, that'll be a good time. Everything will be calmed down then, and it'll be a good time to start. So there should be a video coming on that.
You know, so for people trying to rub my past in my face, like, you want to be this person now, but how can you be when you were this person? Again, past and the present are very different tenses, time tenses.
And like I said, some people can change. I don't think Foodie can. I don't think she can, and I don't think she wants to. She is just a nasty person.
Every single day is a new day for change, like a new opportunity to improve yourself.
Yeah, and you never do. You never. Every day is an opportunity for change and to improve yourself. We have like Psychobabble Chantel here, but she doesn't. She never does, and she doesn't have any desire to. She's just a viscerally mean, nasty person to the core.
And I don't mean improve self-improvement as in like financial gain, you know, going and getting like lip fillers, like physically and stuff like that. I mean like self-improvement, like on a...
She's trying to like get away from that. I don't mean like physically, because she's jealous of people that look better than her, and she's saying that because of her weight. Oh, if you hear the squeaking, Frodo's playing with one of his squeaky toys. He has a squeaky hot dog. Yet she's talking about all this physical stuff, yet she filters herself to the point of her videos and pictures look like nothing more than an Uncanny Valley rendition of herself.
Soul level. On a character level.
A soul level. Chantel is talking to us about changing at a soul level. Let that sink in. Chantel, your soul is tainted and rotten, and you're telling us about changing at a soul level? Oh my God.
Level.
Like, I just can't believe how much food she's eating. She clearly ate that whole sausage roll. And she's eating this whole giant carb bowl. And then she's going to eat that pudding. I love a pudding, though. It's probably delicious, but she doesn't need it.
Like, God doesn't care what you look like. Like, he made you, you know?
God doesn't care what you look like, but he cares how you conduct yourself, how you treat others. He knows your real soul. And if you don't believe in God, then fine, you know, you're not going to believe this. But for those of us who believe in a God, he knows your soul. And you can't delete videos and hide that from him. God has all access to all of your privated content, okay?
That's not going to impress him. How hot you were in this life. How much money you had.
No, but it's going to matter to him how you treat people and, you know, your motivations for doing things, how selfless or selfish you were. Did you do for others? Did you do for others for just personal clout or for the good of doing it? Like, there's just so many things. Did you ever mistreat animals and stuff like that?
The only thing that's going to matter is how kind we were to people.
Yeah, and you are horrid to people, Chantel. You're not kind. You're not nice. You are an absolute vicious bitch. So you are in trouble. And the scary thing is she really thinks that she is a nice person. That she's a good person. That's the worst part of it.
How devoted we are to the Creator.
And you're not, Chantel. If you weren't talking to Salah, you wouldn't have anything to do with any type of religion. And the fact that you're like skinwalking as a devout Muslim, like I said, is very insulting. And people who are Muslim should be insulted by your presence and by you walking around donning the hijab and all that. I think they should. Do you guys think that? Like, let me know in the comments. Or am I being too hard on her? Our little protector here. He's the channel dog, so you'll see him.
Did we make a difference somehow? So
You don't make a difference, Chantel. You're like skirting taxes and there's just too much to freaking get into.
to really.
And yes, we all screw up. We've all done things. But the key is you get older, you grow out of it, you change, you learn from your mistakes. And people can still make mistakes and have done bad things, but still be a generally decent person and not selfish. Chantel is none of that. She has like no redeeming qualities.
Think of these things for my future, you know?
Your future is going to be short-lived, Chantel, because you're 40 almost. And I firmly believe with her eating like this, guys, like, I'm not trying to be morbid here, but I really don't think she's going to make it to 46, 48 years old. If she does, she's not going to be fully intact. She's going to have a lot of issues from her diabetes. And that's not even talking about fatty liver, inflammation, other things going on. Cardiac issues.
Be a lot less selfish.
Wait a minute, what?
Be a lot less selfish.
Be a lot less selfish. Okay, well, a good start to being a lot less selfish, Chantel, is one, just letting reaction channels do their thing. And two, how about you don't eat enough for 3 or 4 people? And overconsume resources the way you do. Can't stop that though, guys. She might lose some weight.
So, yeah.
Just that fake smile. God. That's one of the worst things about her. She's so freaking fake. Her and Amber both. Like, I know Amber a lot better than Foodie, but they are both fake as hell, and it's annoying.
And I know it sounds weird coming from my mouth. When what used to come from my mouth was...
And she is going to finish this whole freaking bowl. And that sausage roll. Just, what the fuck? Oh, I am very sorry. I've never dropped the F-bomb in a video, guys. I am very sorry. It doesn't surprise me that Foodie or Amber would be the one to get it, though.
You know, anything but virtuous in any way.
You're not virtuous in any way, Chantel. You're not. You have no virtues. None. And we do think that she went after the ankle for reused content. Wouldn't surprise me. It was her, Amber. I think maybe it was Foodie. I hope she doesn't come after me. I'm only partially monetized right now, but I guess she's probably making her rounds. It don't matter to me because one, I'm only partially monetized. Two, I can take an 18-minute video of hers and turn it into a freaking hour. So, but I know she's doing that, so... I don't think I'm on anybody's radar yet, though. So that's good. Watching her eat is stomach churning, guys.
This is the small size.
That was the small size. Do you believe that? She just said that carb bowl she got. Oh, that was the... Again, that's a way of Chantel making herself feel better. That was the small size. Well, guess what, Chantel? That small size was still big enough for 2 people. Or 2 meals. One now, one later. And not for you because you're a freaking diabetic.
The kosher is very filling because it's rich in carbs.
Because it's rich in carbs. And she laughs because she knows she ain't supposed to eat it. And look, there she is, dropping more shit all over herself. God.
Mm.
Drops it on herself and just go. Drops it. Drops it on the floor. I'm telling you, that carpet and stuff has, like, around where she eats, has to be a disaster. Thanks for that thumbnail, Chantel. She ate the whole damn thing. She ate it all.
The lentils and chickpeas are good sources of protein, though.
They're good sources of protein, Chantel. You have to eat a lot of them to get it. They're a source of protein. They're not as good as a lean piece of animal protein. It's not a complete protein. So, like, if you're mixing the rice and the lentils and the beans and all together, then you're going to get a complete protein. But you could get a low carb, no carb version of protein with an animal product or tofu or eggs, something like that. Don't sit there, oh, I can eat this. This is good for me because it's protein. You need to go for the lower carbohydrate versions of protein when you are in Chantel's position. I'm not saying they're not good forms of protein, but not everybody can eat a high carb diet. And Chantel can't. But these girls love their freaking carbs. Because they get the sugar high. And yes, carbs taste good. They have a lot of beautiful different textures and mouthfeels and flavors. But, you know, she screwed herself up. And she has to deal with the consequences of it.
And the brown rice.
And the brown rice. Like, she looks at the camera, she does that. It's creepy.
Put that aside.
Oh, did you see that, guys? She held up the bowl. Oh, I'm done. She left like one huge bite or two normal human bites in that bowl. And, oh, Chantel didn't finish it, guys. She put it to the side as soon as this camera was off. She went and scraped that up and ate it. What's the point, Chantel, of leaving like one you-size bite, or like I said, two human-size bites? Because you're not going to leave it. We're not fooling anybody. She must be getting impatient to get to the dessert. The diabetic who just ate sugar for lunch, enough for 2 or 3 people, can't wait to get to her dessert. Can you believe that? What do you think's going to get her first? The neuropathy, eye problems, heart problems, a big drop in kidney function. What do you think's going to be the first thing to start going because of the diabetes?
Let's try this. Mahalabia.
And that's not actually a big portion now that I look at it of a dessert. That's a nice little measured out portion. But Chantel doesn't freaking need it. First of all, who's having dessert for freaking lunch? Okay, that's like a dinner time thing. And a lot of people don't have a dessert after every dinner, like every day of the week. Chantel doesn't need to be having dessert every day of the week, but she's having dessert with freaking lunch.
I want to try to make it. Smells vanilla-y.
Smells what?
Smells vanilla-y.
Smells vanilla-y. So it's like a vanilla pudding, and I'm sure it's delicious. I would love that. But Chantel, you don't freaking need it. Christ, that's what gets me. These girls, they don't give a shit about what they need. That all they care about is what they freaking want. And they will not deny themselves. Chantel will not deny herself anything. That's why she can't do a diet. She can't stick to one. She doesn't want to. She's infuriated. I get like irrationally angry watching these videos. Do you see that right there? Do you see that? Put that pudding in her mouth, got in her mouth, and then you see the eyes light up, got big, excited, got the smile. That's the dopamine hit. That's the foodgasm. That's what she's looking for, and that's what she will not give up.
Smells vanilla-y.
Look. Oh, God.
Yummy. Could use some pistachios, but whatever.
I can't get over how chubby her fingers and hands are.
One of my favorite Arabic desserts.
And she looks like, the look on her face to me looks like she's like annoyed and having a hard time controlling herself. Like, I feel like she wants to eat this dessert a lot faster and take bigger bites, but she's having to control herself because she's filming and having to talk. She just looks impatient.
So yeah, I just don't, I just wanted to clarify. That's not why I'm like made the change to my channel.
We all know why you made the change to your channel. I don't know, like, can somebody tell me, what did, like, Mr. Snowflake threaten to, like, dig up? I heard something. Was he talking about maybe interviewing people that know Chantel? Or I think she's terrified of what people are going to say. Like, she's literally terrified. It's hilarious.
It's because it was time for a change.
Yeah, convenient that right now is the time.
Even if it's just symbolic.
Oh, did you hear that? It's time for a change. Even if it's just symbolic. There's no real change. It's a symbolic change, guys. That's why she changed her channel and her name, said everything was going to be different. She's a whole changed person, and the very first video we get after the change is a mukbang where she's gluttoning herself, and then she's raging at reaction channels later that evening because the change is symbolic.
I'm not trying to escape my past at all. Because
you're trying to hide and escape something, Chantel.
At least not what's online. Because honestly, I have escaped my past. I'm not living in the past anymore. Everyone online is, but I'm not. So that's all that matters. So in that sense, I have escaped. I've escaped my past self. And that's something that everyone should do. Like, you can't stay stuck in the past. You can't.
And how are you to give life advice, Chantel?
And a lot of people live like that. My grandmother lived like that. Stuck in the past, and she was extremely depressed.
There's things sometimes in your past that it is hard to get over. I am guilty of that. A lot of people are. But I don't let it dictate me being a bad person or what I do today. I mean, some things probably do, but Chantel has no room to, like, be giving this type of advice.
It's not healthy.
What do you know about healthy, Chantel? Be it from food, diet, exercise, mental health, emotional health, spiritual health. You don't know jack shit about health. And it's pretty rich of you to say that. My God. There's too many thumbnails to pick from, guys.
Two.
I can see why Salah fell all over that.
Keep beating yourself up over things from the past that you can't change. What's done
Chantel,
is done.
you could change your health and your diet and your lifestyle, but you don't. I mean, look at what you're sitting here doing.
Repent, learn from it.
Repent? Have you repented for anything? Have you learned from it? This is absolutely insulting and enraging that she is saying these things. Let me know in the comments, do you think she's repented? Do you think she's learned anything? Do you think she knows anything about physical or mental or spiritual health or growth? The only thing that about Chantel that has any growth is her circumference.
Move on. But, yeah. This is really good.
That's really good. No surprise you loved the dessert and you finished it, Chantel. And I know you finished that pasta. She's not going to say anything else, guys. I'm going to let it go here. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments what you think about our little everyday Miriam here. And I do know that there was the little bit of a freeze in the camera. I do have to get a new camera. I don't know what causes this one to freeze, but I know the audio still worked, I believe. So I do apologize for that. But I hope you had a good one. I will post this shortly, and then I will be working on some other stuff. So I will see you all in the next one. Bye.